Daf Yomi, Tractate Bava Batra, page 100. A, top of the page, with the words Rav Ashi Amar Kol Min Hatzad Derech Akatalaton Hi Krova Lazeh U'Cholkan Lazeh. Rav Ashi said any alternative path on the side of the original path is considered a circuitous route, as it is close for this person and it is far for that person. While some will benefit from the change, it will be detrimental to others. Therefore, one may never exchange a public path for an alternative path. Hamani Rabbi Eliezer vi Titania Rabbi Yehuda Omer B'Shum Rabbi Eliezer Rabim Shibereru Derech Letzman Ma Shibereru Be'eru. The Mishnah teaches that if a field owner provides an alternative thoroughfare through his field for the public use, the public may use both thoroughfares. The Gemara suggests, but let him say to them, take your original thoroughfare back and give me my thoroughfare that I provided you. The Gemara answers, in accordance with whose opinion is this Mishnah? It is in accordance with the opinion of Rabbi Eliezer, as is taught in a Batra, that Rabbi Yehuda says in the name of Rabbi Eliezer, if the public selected a thoroughfare through a privately owned field for themselves, even without gaining the permission of a field owner, that which they selected, and they have the right to use it. Rabbi Eliezer, Rabim Gazlanim Ninhu, Amarav Gidol Amarav Kagon She'avdalahen Derech Be'osa Sadeh. The Gemara asks, according to the opinion of Rabbi Eliezer, are the members of the public entitled to robbers? Why should they be permitted to appropriate land from the private owner? Rav Gidol said that Rav said Rabbi Eliezer refers to a case where the public lost a thoroughfare in that field. For example, the field was plowed over and the original course of the thoroughfare is not known. In such a case, the public has the right to determine the course anew. Ihachi amai amar Rabbi Baravuna amar Rabbeinu Rabbi Eliezer. The Gemara asks, if so, why does Rabbi Baravuna say that Rav says that the halakha is not in accordance with the opinion of Rabbi Eliezer? His reasoning seems valid. The Gemara answers, one who teaches this, meaning Rabbi Eliezer, is referring to a case where a thoroughfare was lost, does not teach that. For example, a case that Rav rules against Rabbi Eliezer, there is a dispute as to what Rav said. The Gemara asks, and according to Rav Baravuna, what is the reason the field owner cannot reclaim the alternative thoroughfare that he gave to the public? The Gemara answers, it is due to the statement of Rav Yehuda, as Rav Yehuda says, with regard to a strip of land that serves as a border between two strips of land that the public took possession of as a public thoroughfare. It is prohibited to destroy it for them, or in other words, preventing people from using it. Accordingly, in the case of the Mishnah, where the field owner actually provided the public with a thoroughfare, he may certainly not take it back. Rabbi Eliezer, Rabim b'mai kanu le behilucha, Titania hilach ba'ale orka u'lerachba, kana makom hilucha, divrei Rabbi Eliezer, v'chachomim moivrim, ein hiluch moil kluma chiachzi. The Gemara asks, but according to Rabbi Eliezer, through what means does the public acquire the thoroughfare they choose? The Gemara answers, by means of walking on the thoroughfare, as it is taught in a Batra. If one walked along a field's length and its breadth, he has acquired the area inside where he walked. As walking is an effective act of acquisition, This is the statement of Rabbi Eliezer, and the rabbis say that by itself walking is not effective at all, require of you, and it is not required until he takes possession of it using a legal act of acquisition. Amar Rabbi Eliezer, my time, Rabbi Eliezer, Amar Rabbi Eliezer, my time, Rabbi Eliezer, the Steve, kum mitalech ba'aretz la'okol ochor ki lecha etenena. Rabbanan hasam mishum nechabibut d'Abrahamu, dik Amar lehachi kadesh shehei Noach lichvosh lifnei banav. Rabbi Eliezer said, what is the reasoning of Rabbi Eliezer? As it is written that after God promised Abraham Eretz Yisrael, he instructed him, arise, walk through the land, its length and its breadth, for I will give it to you, Genesis 13:17, in order that Abraham should thereby acquire the land. And the rabbis, how do they interpret this verse? They hold that there, in Genesis, it was due to God's love of Abraham that he said to him to do this, in order that it would be easy for his descendants to conquer the land. His walking was to demonstrate the divine promise and thereby emphasize his descendants to claim to the land, but it did not affect acquisition of it. Amar Rabbi Yossi bar Rabbi Chanino. Amar Rabbi Yossi bar Chanino. Moedim chacham Rabbi Eliezer b'shvil shel karomi. Vayil v'naseh lehiluach. Ikne b'hiluach. Rabbi Yossi, son of Rabbi Chanina, says the rabbis concede to Rabbi Eliezer with regard to a path that passes through vineyards. Since the path is made only for walking on it, it can be acquired by means of walking on it. Ki asu lekame de Rabbi Yitzchak bar Ami amar lehu havu le ki ahechi dedori tuna dish v'shata hadar lo amran ela dimesayman mechitzata avalo mesaymin mechitzata ki ahechi deshakil kara umanach kara. The Gemara relates an incident involving the allocation of a path through a vineyard. When people came before Yitzchak bar Ami for judgment with regard to the width of a path through a vineyard that someone had purchased, he said to them, give him a path wide enough so that one can carry a load of vine branches along it and is able to turn around while holding them. The Gemara comments, and we say this only in a case where the sides of the path are bounded by a fence, which would physically prevent a person from carrying a load of vine branches that are wider than the path, and therefore, if necessary, the path must be widened by breaking down the fence. But where the sides are not bound by a fence, a person carrying a load of vine branches will not be prevented from passing along it. Consequently, he needs only to be given a path wide enough so that he can lift up one foot and place it in front of the other foot. Derech hayichud arba amos tonach erem oimrim kedei shever chamor v'maslo yom arafuna halach k'acherem v'tani idach tedayni koila oimrim shnei gamadim kumechta yom arafuna halacha ki dayone koila yom arafuna halacha k'acherem v'ide chad shiurahu. The Mishnah teaches the standard width of a private path is 4 cubits. It is taught in the Batra. Acherim say a private path is wide enough so that a donkey can pass on it with its load. Avuna says the halacha is in accordance with the opinion of Acherim, and it is taught in another Batra. The judges of the exiles say that the standard width is 2.5 cubits, and Rav Huna says halacha is in accordance with the opinion of the judges of the exile. The Gemara asks, but doesn't Rav Huna say the halacha is in accordance with the opinion of Acherim? The Gemara resolves this contradiction. The Gemara resolves the contradiction. This definition and that definition are one and the same measure. Derech harab m'sheish esrei amo tanu rabbanan derech yochid arba amos derech meir ir shmona amos. The Mishnah teaches the standard width of public thoroughfare is 16 cubits. The sages taught in Batra. The standard width of a private path is 4 cubits. The standard width of a road that goes from city to city is 8 cubits. And that's 100A, folks.